So as we all know, to introduce the subject, this is one of the most pertinent and most perhaps contentious subject of the entire climate change impact and the issues of climate related vulnerability that we talk about. Now, where do we call it as a climate-induced displacement and rehabilitation is never been established so far in most of the contexts where people have been impacted badly. Now, just taking the example of Bangladesh, where we are, and we are looking at the issue more sub-regional context, but in the context of Bangladesh, those communities, those who are in the coast, and we have been kind of enlightened by those stories that our chief guest, Deputy Speaker of Parliament, had highlighted this morning, how those river embankment laws and those kind of issues have been really capturing village after village where people are getting forcibly evacuated from those lands. Now, whether it could be called as climate-induced displacement, that is where there is a need that we need to engage and elaborate that subject further so that we can establish those facts which are in reality affecting those communities on a day-to-day basis, and they are being displaced too in such a situation, but there is no such mechanism where there could be a policy protection or any form of social protection to ensure and protect their lives or rehabilitate them into a context where they can be living a secure life. So in this context, I would request our presenter, Mr. Kazi Amdadul Hoque.
Thank you, Honorable Respected Moderator, Respected Chair, panel, fellow audience. This is Kazi Amdadul Hoque. I work with Friendship. Friendship is a non-profit organization. Many of you are familiar with Friendship. We work for Char and coastal areas in Bangladesh. Friendship working for education, health, good governance, meaning rights and any other issues really they need to access to the government and other services, disaster management, sustainable economic development, all those captures through this model. We call integrated development model. Now, let's start the topic. So, as you all aware, for the displacement issues related to climate change, we know that climate change is very much a natural issue and it's nothing new in our history. But because of geography, topography, humidity and so many other things, but immediate after the industrial revolution, that creates a problem. Then there are so many organics and so many other industrial exposure which really creates a problem, so that we are now facing frequent flood, frequent cyclone, frequent other natural disasters, and which actually making vulnerable our people, those who are really away from all those emissions. And so for the study reflects this around 200 million people globally will be displaced by 2050, and in Bangladesh by this time, by between 2014 and 2016, 4.7 million people already displaced. And by 2050, each and every 7 people will be displaced in the country. The government endorsed this statement. If this is the situation, then we have no other option. We have to look back really, how really we can protect our people. I can refer you a story, near Chomda I was traveling one day and I just stopped by, the roadside slum, and I met Mintu, a young boy, is around 25 or 27. He left 10 years before, 10 to 15 years before in Jamalpur area, and he's living in slum, roadside slum. And the Mintu saying each and their house, their land under water, the Jamuna, and each and every year Mintu and Mintu's mom visit their Jamalpur area, and last couple of months before Mintu saying that is one day I'll back to my home. So how can you hoping for this? Because I saw a little indication, maybe I will bring the Jamuna will bring back my land. I don't know Mintu will have that opportunity in his lifetime, but there are plenty and billions of Mintus in the Dhaka city who are really hoping for that to go back their home. So this is the story of Mintus. There are so many other statistics, around 20 million people will be displaced in Bangladesh, and actually Bangladesh is not in that position to accommodate those people. And one meter sea level rise will displace by 131.5 million people, and 9.35% of our total population already displaced. And finally, actually, this displacement, seasonal migration rate now 10% due to drought. And addressing those issues, we identify the three major areas: the warming and drying, extreme weather events, and permanently destroy the different coastal belt areas. Actually, in last flood, in 2016, when we were addressing the flood response, then we realized, okay, now we are well prepared. We will be able to face in 2017. But 2017 flood came in with different dimension. In 2015, when we addressed flood, then we thought, okay, now we will be able to handle 2016. But 2016 is, in terms of intensity, the longevity, period, everything, quite different. And this time, beginning from timing, its intensity, is everything was quite different. Very unpredictability is our day-to-day life. So this is quite obvious is due to climate change. And already the world now recognized, out of 10 most vulnerable countries, Bangladesh is 6th in Asia, and Bangladesh is one of those 6 countries. So this is no question about the vulnerability of Bangladesh, but Bangladesh definitely at the same time pioneer to address those challenges, beginning from climate fund and all other things. We have plenty of local level solutions and adaptation. We should take care of those things so that our people will not be dependent in future the rest of the world, but we should continue our voice at the same time. Now sharing our experience. In 2014, Friendship conducted a study in our Gaibanda, Kurigram, Shapkhira, Potuakhali and Borbun area. Our target family was 1590. And out of those families, in 2014, we noticed 56% were displaced. But in 2017, we noticed 85% were displaced. They are due to riverbank erosion. And at the same period, for flood, 6.6% displaced. And in 2017, April, the study conducted in April, we found 56% displaced. And due to cyclone, in 2014 we learned 5.3% displaced, and in 2017 is 3% displaced. And as you learned already, this is due to river erosion, flooding both in north and south, was the push factor for those displacement. So this is no other actually, this is our direct study. And we are quite aware. This is not actually secondary data, anything else. We know the condition. Within this 1519 family, if this is happened, so think about the rest of the country. So in our country, actually, we yet to know the very, very detailed part of this massacre. Last flood, in 2016, I was traveling from Gaibanda to Kurigram. If you go by road, it will take 2 to 3 hours time. I took a boat, it was engine boat. I had to travel 6 hours. Then I reached a chart, this Sandbar Island. So, and after 10-15 minutes walk, I met one guy. He is actually rebuilding his home. He just shifted in that chart. With his wife, he is rebuilding his little home. He asked how many times he had to rebuild his house. He says 12 times. So we'll never know this story. And this 6 hours boat from Gaibanda to Kurigram, it took, it's very difficult to reach those people. They will never complain, will never learn what's really happening in their life. And the both husband and wife, I don't know, the gender specialist and all other development specialists need to be there to see how really they're managing their life. They don't have complaint. They, to some extent, I don't know whether I should say or not, they're like excluded people. So whatever we are, our visit, our meeting them, sometimes we will say hello to them, they feel it's a favor. They forget what is right is. So when I work in desk or in home or house, I remember that guy, what stamina he holds. Because of those people, we are really in better shape at this moment in this country. So finally, actually, and this guy whom I met, he has specifically rights. And if he is threatened, he has rights, human rights. And at the same time, he even yet to leave his home, but he is in bad condition, he has rights. And if he already found a new place and difficult to accommodate, he has rights. I met last year in May in Kajipur, Bhawanipur area, 48 child yet to enroll in school who is really at age of 6 plus. I'm not, a few minutes back I referred you the remotest store in Kurigram. Now I'm referring in Gazipur, very close to the city, Bhawanipur, because they are displaced people. They are not connected with the mainstream. Though they live in Gazipur, Bhawanipur, but they are displaced. So they have rights. What rights they have? They have rights for humanitarian assistance. They have very specific rights for housing and shelter. They have rights for land, food, water, adequate sanitation. They have rights for education. They have rights for medical assistance and health services. They have rights for freedom of movement. They have rights for choose of one's residence. And they have rights for real estate. But I don't know how far and when they will be able to achieve, able to avail those rights. And I don't know who will extend his hand, lend his hand to make sure these people will get back their, not that comfort, at least these rights. And actually what they want, these people to rebuilding their home. I just shared with you the Mintu story. 10 years lost, Mintu still hoping he will go back his Jabalpur at home, his birthplace. He hoping. Many hopes remain unaddressed. That's why we friendship started this project. And this innovative solution to us is, if you say you raised plane, it's very common. It's not uncommon. But this is a special kinds of raised plane. It's oval shape. We already built 14 in Gaiband and Kurigram areas. So when water flow break because of this oval shape, and in this oval shape, 20 to 25 family can stay forever, and it's above than flood level, so around 8 to 10 feet high. And in the middle there's a pond, and in flood time, people can take shelter. 70, 100 family can take shelter. By last 5-7 years, we built 14, and everyone is really okay. So I would welcome you to visit this site. I'm referring, this is from Romari Kurigram. Romari, we already built 3, third one going on. So this is, I believe, we can't stop flood, we can't stop cyclone, and we can't stop emission. Yes, but we at least can address this solution, the way we can. This is our people, this is our land, and we have to manage the resources what we have. And this actually, if I explain you, this oval shape, and around 20-25 people can stay, and sufficient water sanitation facilities, and there's a community center on the plane, a school on there, and we offer medical services as a part of our routine program. At the same time, recently we offered solar support. So, and people can do vegetation and other things, can fishing on the pond. So my recommendation. Actually, now is a very high time. We have many platforms in the country. So let's build one platform again towards the national action to address this issue. And because we can't wait, it's already, because after COP21, we don't have time to see for the rest of the world. So we have to find our solution. Whatever voice we need to echo with each other. And let's make sure the climate displacement is the top in the list, is the top priority in the countries as well. And let's be in the same page with the best practices. I know in this house and beyond that, many of you are doing great job, great things in the community. Let's bring all those things, let's meet each other, visit each other's sites, let's identify a list of best practices so we'll be able to replicate those things. Finally, I'm welcoming everyone to visit Friendship Plain. So if you like it, we'll assist you. I'm grateful to Ministry of Environment and Forest. Their documents are reviewed. Dhaka University, IDM BPS, the Displacement Solutions, IPSHA, Friendship, many NGOs working in this field, Mr. Kamal and Odudash. And let's have a look or video on climate issues.
To conclude this show, I wanted to go back to the north of Bangladesh, on those islands of Brahmaputra River, which have really touched me. Eva and Mula want to prove to me that the exodus to Dhaka is not unavoidable. They want to prove that a future is possible here for the children of the villages. And to make sure of it, friendship is on all fronts. In this prospect, children are coming with me to discover Eva and Mula's new project. A simple idea which can change the life of all the island's inhabitants.
Why is it important to learn?
In this island, there are more than 1,500 people, between 1,500 to 2,000 people. And when we started the school, not one person could read and write. In the whole village, we could not find one teacher. And we had to import another teacher who was willing to live on this island to start.
So you invented a new education system. Children become teachers too. That's what's new.
Yes, that is another concept that I started. It's called Teacher Friend, and this is child-to-child education. So when I first came, I saw little children who were not in our school looking into the windows, and it really broke my heart. So I asked the children to teach the children their friends at home. So every day they go back and they teach their friends one word or a poem or a sum that they have learned in school. So like this, now you have everyone, 80-90% of the village, they know how to at least read and write. Education brings them hope for tomorrow. And unless we can put that into all the people, we cannot hope for a better tomorrow.
Pupils that become teachers in turn. What a great idea. What's the future of Bangladesh? The country that will be the first to suffer from global warming.
Where there is hardly any land, because 85% of the land often goes underwater. So in a situation like that, if this is accelerated, why don't I ask you how it is? You are going to have 150 million people who will all become climatic refugees. And they're going to break borders and they're going to move. So what we can hope for is people are aware of this, they understand that it is not anymore somebody else's problem. It is their problem. It's become their problem. And they have to learn to deal with all these people who they can't throw at one point. The world cannot throw them away.
When we listen to you, we wonder where's the hope for all these people.
I think hope is in the fact that people, every person, every child wants to live and survive and be better.
Moi je dirais que l'espoir, c'est justement que ensemble, si on joint les mains, on va peut-être arriver à quelque chose, mais les solutions ne sont pas encore toutes faites. Il faut les imaginer, il faut les créer. Et pour cela, il faut y croire. Donc il faut croire dans la fraternité humaine. C'est ensemble qu'on va y arriver. On ne peut pas y arriver tout seul.
Thank you. This is Maya, the little girl. I met her in a village market. Actually, her father in the midnight had dismantled his home, and the whole family they shifted in a village market, and somehow they managed, to bring back the dismantled homes, the sheets and everything. So somehow when it was difficult, to hold my tears when I met her, because immediately that Maya, she just ran actually, and when she met one of our teacher with me, and just ran and hugged him and said, I didn't actually had a time to say my teacher says I'm living with my father. I hope I will have to go back to school again. But I know this school already collapsed in the river, and I don't know what's the future of Maya. I don't know what next. But is early marriage waiting for her? Is there another crisis waiting for her? I don't know. And because his father still not, when I met them, father still looking for earning to manage some food for them. Maya still holding her smile. I don't know whether we will be able to make sure Maya will keep continuing smiling. Thank you so much.
Thank you.